Good morning. I am Buck. This is Solder Solutions, and welcome to my shop. Today we're going to work on a Prairie Style box, kind of a memory box for some graduating seniors. If y'all want to see how we do it, just hang in there with me, and I'll show you how we're going to do it. Well, this is the Prairie box that this is actually the one I built about 3 years ago. We're going to make one today out of oak and African Badook that it's going to be like this. So yeah, if you want to, that's what we're going to do today. Y'all hang with me and we'll get this thing done. Matter of fact, I've already cut the parts. I got this one to, we'll get on the shooting board. We got to get the exact width of this because it's the end and the sides. They need to be the same height. So I got just a little bit of work to do right here. And then I got a jig up for my my bandsaw. We will cut the legs that do these taper cuts. We'll do that on the bandsaw. Okay, here we go. Right, next thing we're going to do, we're going to size this to that. So the ends and the sides has got to be the same height. See, them are, and the two ends are and the sides are. However, these are just a little bit over what that is. So we're going to have to get them to the same height. And what you want to do now is you want to sneak up on this thing. Just a little bit, I mean. Let's see. Still just a little bit. Well, don't like much. Don't like much. I'm just barely taking the shaving. Oh, it's close. It is so close. I believe we're there. Just check the ends for square. Make sure we got it. And that's got that one. Yes, sir, that's got that one. Now this needs, yeah. The table saw, bandsaw, especially bandsaw, he leaves some tool marks. Well, we delved that right in. It needs just a little bit. Another pass of tooth should do that. Another or two. So the shooting boards, you can get those planing marks, those tool marks out. Yeah, there we are. So, well, we'll check make sure we didn't have nothing go right here. That still looks good. See, a lot of this is by feel. Once you've done it enough, you can feel whether things are going right or not. So I was not taking much off at a time. Yeah, so we got the legs to go now. Let's work on that. So here we are at the bandsaw. I got the feet, it's 1 inch by 1.25 inches, 3.5 inches long. So what we need to do now is cut the taper on one of the legs, and then we can glue it to the sides then. So hearing protection is on, contact. So the next step, the bandsaw, although consistent, however, it leaves a little rough. So I took the offcut, inverted it, set it right here against my bump stop. I'm going to see if I can't plane that tool marks out of there. Hold a lot of pressure down right here. As you come through, apply more pressure back here to keep that thing just as straight. You don't want to deviate from that angle any, but you just want to clean those tool marks up. And the objective right here is get a full length, full width shaving. I don't feel like I'm quite there, but I am almost there. Oh, that one felt good. Oh yeah, I got just a little bit right there. Just a little bit more. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but I can sure feel the difference right there. I just took all them marks out. That's the best way in the world to do it. Nothing like that. Yeah. Hand plane saves all kinds of, it really saves all kinds of sand. And if you're not sanding, you're not creating near the dust. You can tell by the sound of the plane when you're almost there. Yeah, hear it. Hear the sound change. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, sir. That is nice right there. We don't like much. Yeah. Got just a little. Full length shaving. Okay. So the next step after we got our legs one angle cut, we're gonna glue it to the end pieces. And what I done to get it easier to get a glue up, I have made this little jig where I can line everything up and get it clamped in the right spot. So it's gonna come right through there, and as long as everything's pushed forward and down, boom, you got it. So what I'm thinking about doing now, we'll go ahead and get us a glue up here. That's one thing happens if in the shop you need a little jig for something, but this here is job specific. I don't know where you could use this widespread. However, there's nothing jigs. I like jigs. Makes your life much easier. So we'll see if we can get this thing glued up. Again, you gotta spread the glue where you want to go. Cut it depending on the glue here. You can't count on it going there on its own. Sometimes it'll spread out there. I've taken old things apart to where you could tell the glue didn't get everywhere. So what we're going to do, like I say, we're going to reference against the fence of this little jig and the base of the little jig. So it's got to sit all the way down and all the way up. But it's got to be lifted up a little bit because it wanted to tilt in, so your clamp would not get far enough down. So this way I need to get right in the middle. See. So right before I get ready to tighten her up, it needs to go forward and it needs to go down. All right, now I got my good glue squeeze out. Oh yeah, we're even right back here. So that's gonna work fine. So there we go. That's one. So we'll put it over here and let that dude. There's no other fasteners to it, so we're gonna give that thing some time to glue up there, make sure it's set up good. So I'll just give y'all another angle. I had two to glue up. Figured I'd just give y'all a couple of angles right there. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna spread our glue. Okay, here we go. We want to make sure we're all the way forward and all the way down. Oh, need another clamp. I don't do no good without a clamp. So here we go. We'll get these glued up. Pretty well in the middle. All the way forward and all the way down. Okay, all the way down. Okay, here we go. something happened. I was too far down right here. All right, this one over here looks good. I was more worried about it than I was the other. Okay, all the way forward. All the way down. All right, that she got it this time. Check, make sure it's flat right there. It is. So yeah. So we'll lay this aside. We'll let that set up good and move on to the next step. But I've got the blade sticking up 1/4 of an inch, and I got the fence where it'd leave 1/8 of an inch. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to have a 1/4 tall, 1/8 inch deep rabbet at the end of this board. So that's what we'll cut now. Let me get some hearing protection on and we'll get started. So we are gonna move this to 10 degrees. So from 90 to 80. So there we are. So while we're waiting for the ends to glue up, set up where we glued them, because I want them glues, I want that to set up really good. I'm gonna give it plenty of time, because the next step for that is come up here and do a dado. So that vibration, no, I'm just gonna get every opportunity to do good with it. So I'm gonna, but while we're waiting, so we put the rabbet in the sides. Now I'm gonna take the top and I'm gonna cut, there's a 10-degree taper all the way around. So that's what we'll work on now. So what we'll do, this is the jig I made. If y'all seen that video, table saw jigs, this is one of them. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kind of sneak up on it. I am looking for the other one. I left, yeah, let's see here. I left a 3/16 right here. So what I'll wind up doing is probably sneak up on it. I'll tell you what, let me just mark it. Too late in the game to be screwing up now. So this is the corner right here. So let me mark 3/16. I think that looks good. So I'm going to put the tip of that blade right in line with that 3/16. This will make a taper. So the taper is what we're making all the way around right now. So let me sneak up on that thing here. I'm gonna back off just a little bit just to make sure. Yeah. So this is good control. That's where these jigs come in. So hearing protection on. Dust collection on. All right, here we go. Ha ha ha. Y'all remember where I backed off just a little bit? That's a good thing I did. It's right on it. But no more than I backed it off, it wouldn't have been at the end of the world. Let's go ahead and make them other cuts. Well, let's take a look at it and just see what we think. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Now we got the top. That's item number 5. Now, we could go ahead and put together some of the others, but this 4 and 6, this mounts underneath to when the chamfer's right there, to where when it sits in the top, or sits in the box, the top don't move around. So whenever the box is complete, so we're gonna have to work this thing down to actually fit. The bottom, same thing. Once it's put together, we will work this thing in and sneak up on and make a perfect fit for it. That way, if you're off a little bit somewhere, you can dial these two in to fit. But it's got to fit. We've got a rabbit's cut right there. So, we'll work on the handle, get it ready. Then, like I say, I'm going to give that plenty of time. I don't want no chance for it to fail. So let me see what we can do. We'll get gathered up and we'll probably work on that handle right now. Well, all right, it is the next day. If you remember, Wednesdays is just a half a day in anyway. And also, I wanted these things to really set up good, because I got some dados I gotta cut right down that joint. So I want to make dang sure that we're set up and that's not going to be an issue. what we were wanting to do is glue this together and put the handle on the lid. Then once I cut these, we'll be ready to start assembling. So let's get set up here and we'll see if we can't get this thing on our way. Here we'll take a plane and we'll get this all cleaned up. Got my bump stop, my dough board, kind of get ready to move it. This is a real good way to capture your work. Yeah, this is get her slicked down. Get ready to move it. Yeah, this is a good way of doing it. Okay, the handle that goes on top and the spacer to hold it off the top, we're going to glue that together right now. You need a good even glue. I got these combination squares set to where I'm going to hang on to it here to, I'm going to eyeball it in the middle, then I can fine tune it with that. Plus we need to give it just a second here. Rub it around and let it tack up just a little bit. Actually, I've got a straw, because it's going to be a little squeeze out, but I get me just a big straw works better than a small one. You cut it at a 45, you get right in that point right there, and you just get it right out. Thing about it is, you get her full, you just squeeze it and it just pulls it out, and he sets up in it tomorrow, it'll pop right out. So it looks like we are good that way. And let's see where our, it's got to go yonder way. There we go. One more check right here. That looks like we are good. So let's see if we can't get these clamps. May have to. When that tacks up though, you ain't gonna worry about it moving around. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yes, sir. That's going to work pretty good. Yeah. I can get my straw now. Well, we'll just let that set up. That's the way I did that one 3 years ago, and it's not had any problem. We're getting a lot of rain, you know. I don't know. There's our top. We'll finish it up, and that will glue right on. That's the handle. So let us move forward. So there's something else you can do. 'Cause I kind of like to keep these corners sharp. If you go sandpaper, you'll wind up rounding that thing off. So I give me a card scraper. I don't take much off, just kind of smooth it out. It's real close. But if you watch what you're doing, you come across this edge, see that's taking shape real good. You kind of preserve that corner right there. Not taking a heavy pass, I just want to kind of smooth it up. That's card scraper. A good card scraper will put, and you kind of want to go with the grain here. It's in grain, especially on oak. It's so coarse. To get that smooth finish you look for, you kind of got to work with it. Yeah, you can tell the side eye card scrape, and this side here it. Yeah, little tricks you pick up along the way to make it go a little extra mile, so to speak. Boy, you can tell the difference on the ones you worked on. Yeah. You can get in there and take a heavy pass, but I believe we're okay right there. Yeah, I think that's going to work just fine. Card scraper. If you ain't got one, y'all get one and learn how to sharpen that dude. You'll be proud you did. It just, in between finishes, you know how it leaves it a little rough? You can leave the hook off and just do a 90 degree right there right before you do the hook. Then you can bring that across that finish. You can smooth that finish up and work this out between coats of finish. It works good for that. So that's got the top. Yeah, so we're moving right along. All right, what we got now is we're going to need to cut that dado right there for the side and the end. That's what we're going to cut right now. These are the ends. And yeah, here's the sides. So basically what we're doing, we're going to cut a dado. We're just set in right there. Now to do that, I'm going to cut, for no more than it is, I'm just going to use a regular way, I'm just going to move it over. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to line up with that curve mark where the blade's going to be. That'd be one side of the dado. So I take a stop block. I put it against my work, my piece. I clamp it on. Now, here I got another stop block. This is what I want the size of the dado to be. So I sandwich it in, and that little pull, that's going to be. Hang on, let's do that again. I think it might have moved. But anyway, I put this in here, sandwiching the piece that I want to fit in the dado. All right, that little drag coming out is all I'm looking for. I just need a little drag. You need it touching for when the glue matching. So all right, now I take another stop block, put it against that stop block, clamp it in, release this. See, if I move it according to that, it'll be the width of the blade too wide. This is the curve that my blade cuts. I stick it right there. So I'm subtracting the width of my blade. Now, I'll cut it from here to here. That should fit. So, let's do it. Let's try it. So this is what I was looking for, the width of this right here. So right here is the dado. It might be just a tick tight, but it's just a tick tight. But it will fit right there. So that's what I'm looking at. It might be just a tick. I may give it just a hair more. But basically, that's what you're looking for right there. So we'll go ahead and cut the rest of them. So you need to remember the width of your blade's got to be taken out. If not, it'll be the width of your blade too wide. So let's go get this. So now we got all the dados cut. What we need to do, where we got an angle right here, we need to cut an angle right here on each side. We're going to do that. I made me a little jig, a little fence right there, and we're going to cut the angles that we need to right there. Well, the saw wound up burning it, which is no big deal. We just had to get it worked down to actually what you can do, you can take some candle and knocks down that friction where you're doing, oh, it's like putting ball bearings on it. Okay, so that's good right there. So we'll get all this burn marks off there and be ready to start putting some of this stuff together. So why don't we go ahead and do our glue up now. I always like to do a practice run if I can. Because you don't, to me the glue up's the worst part of it. I mean, the kind of the pressure's on, so to speak. You get that glue everywhere you need it. hack it up a little bit. Let's go and get this other side. Kind of all got to go in at the same time, if you know what I mean. So, let us go ahead. Don't want to get them backwards now, do we? Oh, it ain't. There it went. And these rests are down. Okay. Yeah, they're looking all right. That ain't up. There it goes. Okay, let's just go ahead and get our rubber bands. Then we'll look at it again. That went just about into. Yep, there it went. Let's get us another one. That one's that and flush, that and flush. Okay. Let us check for square. We don't want to let that get away from us. Yeah, that's one thing's going right. It is one thing that's going right. Now, probably, yeah, there's a good tight one. Let's put it on the bottom. Don't want to get this away from us. Yep, still square. Yep. All right then. Well, we got that glued up. All right, now what we can do, that one's going to pop. I probably need to go and put one in its place. The rubber band's getting some miles on them, if you know what I mean. Okay. One last check. Make sure we're all the way down. There, all the way down. All the way up. Last. We are. Yep. Good and square. So looks like we've got it to that point anyway. All right, now after this thing sets up, we've got this piece that will have to be fitted. See, it's just a little oversized, which that's on purpose. So you fit it to where it just fits it. This, well, we ain't glued that on yet. We'll probably do that next. This will go under here where it'll set, and the lid won't have any movement on it. So these will have to be fit in place. So we'll just let her sit there. I might go ahead and work on this. Let me do some checking on that and I'll get right back with you. So what we're going to do, we're going to glue that down right there and let it be setting up. Then all we will lack then is the pieces of cherry, the bottom and the bottom of this thing. So we're narrowing her down, so to speak. We are narrowing it down. Okay, I got these combination squares set. This in here is to kind of give it left and right. And then in this one, I believe we got her. Yep. So it looks like that's going to do it. We just let her tack just a little bit, and then what I'll do, I will take these rubber bands. Have to keep that pressure on it. Now I think that will keep enough pressure on it to, yeah, we'll just let that set up. And like I say, that's set up. And I think we'll be ready to fit the bottoms, fit the cherries. And then we're approaching the end of this thing in. So at that point, we'll put the finish to it. What I figured we'd do, I know this ain't hardly set up, but no harder than them rubber bands are holding on there. Better go ahead and fit this bottom to it. How I can set it in there, and we'll probably go and glue it in there, you know. So, just so happen to have it that way, lacks very little. This way here, we probably got a 30-second. So, let me see if we can't sneak up on it. We're gonna sneak up on it like a thief in the night. Sneak up on it. Because once you go one too far, it's too loose in. But like I say, this way, lengthwise, it's sitting right in it. This way here looks like it's about a 30-second, maybe a little bit less. Of course, I'm not taking much off at a time. Plus, it gives a really good edge. Man, the cherry I love working cherry. I really like working cherry. You put a plane on it, and that dude gets so smooth. I guess oak is just so porous. It takes a really, really good sharp plane. You just kind of dial it in and just sneak up on it. That one, look there, look there, look there. Oh man, look at this. Let me get you on there where you can see. We are sneaking up on this thing for sure. See, sneaking. Look at that. That's a perfect fit right there. But it lacks just ever so down about halfway, and that way right there looks like it's going. Looks like. Let's see, which way was it? Okay, the fat side's right there. Well, I'm gonna tell you, that went better or quicker than any I've done in a long time. Usually, and it really takes the patience. So what I'm thinking, oh sorry, let's dry fit this thing. That's it right there. Oh baby, that's a good fit. Yeah, that's a really good fit right there. So if we're doing a dry fit, so what I'll need to do is put, I don't think these will reach, yeah they will. Well, these barely will. It really doesn't take a lot of pressure, but it takes a little bit. So we use this right here. Yeah. We'll just put a bunch of these, but we won't. So, see, it doesn't need this way. It needs, so, okay. That is a good fit, I'm telling you. And that's about usually, like I say, it takes a lot of patience. But that went really good. Yes, sir. It sure did. Now, I was looking at the other part. It's just a tick small, so it's be a little bit of slack, but I think we'll be all right. So when we get done with this, we'll go ahead and glue that one. Yes, sir. I think we got it. Yeah, one thing it'll do, if you ain't careful, that glue, it'll swell that dude up. You got one fitting like that, you need to be careful with it. That is a good fit right there. That's the goodest one I've done. So right here, we'll start in the middle and work our way both ways. It does not take, look at that, it tried to pop out on me. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot, it just needs it in the right spot. I'm not putting much pressure on it. You can see right there, I'm not putting a lot. I just need the gap filled up, you know what I mean? So if I put that one there, this one actually needs to go there. This one can go there. Let's just leave her right there. Yeah, just leave her right there. We can work on that top now. I think that handle's stuck on there good enough that I think it yeah, I think it we'll take this right here. We'll just center that thing in there, what we'll do. I need to find me a caul to lay right here. So I'll tell you what, let me go find a caul. I'll show you what I'm talking about now. I'll be right back. So what I'm thinking here, once I get this on here, I need the pressure to be held stair-stepped up, and then we'll put them rubber bands and that'll hold it down. I think it'll come there holding. We just use rubber bands. There. All right, so we will glue this. I'll feel better. Okay. Kind of needs to tack just a little bit. Okay. I have got that thing. So I was thinking if I can do this thing. Need some more rubber bands now. So I need a little bit better pressure on this. Yeah, let me get some rubber bands. You know, you can keep putting rubber bands on a watermelon, and at some point it'll blow the watermelon up. Each one does just a little bit more, and before you know it, you have got it going on. So I just need to make sure I can get me some good pressure right there. I think that will do it. So, I got it glued up. If we'll let that glue set up, and then we'll check it over good for any places we need to touch up or anything like that. But I think we're good. We will be ready to put some finish on this thing. It's going pretty good. Actually, that fitting that bottom there, I had actually put most of the evening. I set it aside just for these two right here, and they've gone quicker than any I've ever done. So yeah, so it's every now and then it's good to have things go your way. But we're gonna let that set up, and then, like I say, and then we will see if we can't find us some finish. Make it shine. See you in a bit. Well, I went ahead and left it set overnight. So it looks like we're good to go. I did a once over. Looks like we're good to go to what I figured I'd do. I am going to put some shellac on it. So I'm gonna show you how I do make the applicator. And what I'm using here is a 2-pound cut. Then as you go along, I'll show you my applicator. As we go along, as I get real close to where I want to be, I'll put just pure denatured alcohol with it, and it kind of cuts it back. And that makes it lay down in there real good. But anyway, I'm gonna bring in here and I'll show you how I make the applicator. I just got me a porous rag here. I take and get me some cotton balls and put in this thing, and it holds the. I just wad that thing up right there, and I'll bring it up like it's right here. All right, and then what I'll do, I'll soak that cotton down. Like I say, this is a 2-pound cut of shellac. I'll bring all that up in here like this right here. And make me a little applicator. Right here, I'll get me a rubber band. And there's the applicator. And I'll just soak that bottom of that thing real good. Little projects like this, I like just kind of rubbing it on with the applicator. Brushes and stuff, it leaves it, oh, look at that dude pop. And that's way I do it. I like shellac. It's forgiving. It does a good job. It's natural. So yeah. Yep. So I'm just going to go ahead and get me a few coats on this thing, and it dries pretty quick. You can put another coat on it pretty quick. So let me back y'all off when y'all watch this few minutes. Sometimes getting in the nooks and crannies, we'll have to, like underneath this underneath this handle here, getting the nooks and crannies. When it goes to pulling, I usually just set it aside and let it dry. Once it dries, the pulling kind of goes away. You kind of tell after a while. Well, one thing about it, sure brings the wood grain out. The beauty of the wood. Well, I'm just gonna rock on here. I may do 2 or 3 coats, and I'll see y'all back whenever we get this thing done. Well, it looks like we've got her done. And that dude, yeah, turned out nice. Yeah, that oak did good. That oak did good. African Badook. I think that's about all the African Badook I got. I just got little bitty pieces. But yeah. Well, I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me. And I hope y'all enjoyed it. And I will see you guys on the next one.